Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is the story of how a tree almost started World War III. The year was 1976, and tensions were high between North Korea and South Korea. The Korean War had ended 20 years prior, but the two countries still weren't on good terms. In fact, there were still thousands of troops amassed on both sides of the border, waiting for the chance to attack. But it was a different kind of story in the joint security area of the Demilitarized Zone. Here, North Korean and South Korean soldiers patrolled just feet away from each other. And because of this proximity, they were forced to communicate with each other on a daily basis. And not only that, they also had to work together to maintain the area. For example, when trees fell across the military demarcation line, soldiers from both sides would have to meet in the middle and discuss who was responsible for cleaning it up. And that's what happened one day in October when a large tree was chopped down by South Korean soldiers. It landed across the MDL, which meant that the North Koreans would have to cut it back. A group of North Korean sappers met with their South Korean counterparts at the fallen tree. But it wasn't long before things took a turn for the worse. First, the North Koreans accused the South Koreans of deliberately cutting down the tree and blocking their path. Then they claimed that the South Koreans were trespassing by standing on the north side of the line while they cut the tree. The argument escalated, and soon the North Koreans began threatening their counterparts with pistols. Things became so chaotic that the North Korean officers drew their pistols and aimed them at the South Korean officers. A South Korean major responded by drawing his own pistol, and the North Koreans returned fire. Within seconds, the area was filled with bullets. The South Korean officers quickly returned fire, wounding 6 of the North Koreans. One of the bullets hit a North Korean lieutenant in the neck, nearly killing him. As the gunfight continued, more and more soldiers joined in. Soon, there was a full-blown firefight between hundreds of North Korean and South Korean troops. As the bullets flew, the soldiers looked around for cover. One of the South Korean soldiers dove into a nearby ditch, but he wasn't alone. A U.S. journalist named William Klein was also there taking pictures. He was nearly hit by shrapnel from a hand grenade and was seriously wounded. After about an hour, the fighting stopped. 2 South Korean and 4 North Korean soldiers were wounded. But the most shocking part was that neither side had realized that they had fired on each other. When the dust settled, the soldiers from both sides looked around in disbelief. They couldn't believe that they had just engaged in a firefight with their counterparts. To make matters worse, the incident occurred right next to the truce village of Panmunjom, where important meetings between the two Koreas were held. If the North Koreans had actually been engaging with American soldiers instead of South Koreans, it could have easily sparked another war. The incident led to a 4-day conference between the two Koreas to discuss the rules of engagement in the DMZ. In the end, both sides agreed that North Korea would compensate South Korea for the damage to the tree. As for the soldiers involved, they were all given stern warnings. This could have been the start of another devastating war, but luckily things didn't escalate further. Let's hope that we can all learn from this incident and strive to keep the peace. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. I'll see you next time.